Hello and welcome to another edition of Sit Down with the Director. I'm Robin Phillips and I'm here again today with our Director of Schools, Mr. Bobby Cox. Bobby,
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Awesome. Good.
And we are getting ready for a break.
Yes, we are.
Fall break's coming up this next week, October 9th.
I believe so.
So be sure and be aware, parents, that your children will not have school that day, and hopefully you'll be able to get outside and do something in the nice fall weather, or at least take a break from academics, get refreshed and ready to get into the second quarter when we get back. Is that correct?
That's awesome. Yes, that's great.
Okay. So also we wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in Warren County Schools in building projects, what's going on at Bobby Ray right now, and then maybe you could tell us a little bit about West Elementary as well.
Sure. So I think Joe's kind of putting up the details of Bobby Ray and West Elementary, so we'll kind of look at the pictures while we're talking, but you know, the picture that you see now is the footers being poured at Bobby Ray, and they're making pretty good progress there. So if Joe wants to go on to the next slide, you can kind of see that was the beginning, and now they're forming up and pouring those footers, so they're moving pretty quickly, moving right along. So on the next slide, again, just more pictures of the footer on the other side, closest to the street. And I think they've already gotten that poured and continuing to work on those footers. And the next one, and again, on the back side of the building, just a view from back there. And a lot of the part down here is drainage and where they're kind of taking water off the side. So it's moving right along in Bobby Ray.
So, I mean, as you can tell, I think most people have probably seen the picture, but in case viewers have not, what the finished product will be to enclose those two buildings and make it one with continuous frontage on North Chancery.
That's right, and then also connecting the new building to the cafeteria, which is back here. So everybody can go from any of the three buildings into the main building without going outside. So that's kind of the goal, is for safety and security as well as weather, enclosing all those buildings. And then on the enclosure, there'll be a new front of the building office space and a new computer lab, a new art music room, and I think there's one more room up there as well. Can't remember right now what that is, but there's going to be 3 classroom spaces.
A small workroom?
Science lab. So a science lab, computer lab, and art and music room.
Okay, great. And so obviously you can see here that the children are being kept away from the construction by fencing, and on the other side as well, they would not have access to this.
Absolutely, have to walk around.
Yes. So for another...
Well, till probably August. Yeah, July or August.
So next year this will look totally different.
Yes, it should.
Okay, great. Well, we're excited to see that. And then also, I know. More here?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
A little bit more. Again, just pictures of footers there, and not really a lot of detail there. So.
Okay.
So I think West Elementary. I don't know if we've got West Elementary. There we go. So with West Elementary. This is just the floor plan there. This is the current kitchen and cafeteria, and we'll transform that into a library and a computer lab, build a new cafeteria, kitchen, loading dock, and some restrooms on the back side closest to the ball fields. And then these areas, security enclosures, classroom, workroom area, and classroom and restrooms on the end of the building are alternates that we're going to bid. But that's the floor plan.
Okay. And that would be can you go back?
There you go.
Well, so this is, if you aren't familiar with the inside of the building, this is the loop coming in. This is where you would come in now.
Right.
So, and then this is the ball field, and this would be the pool and the tennis courts back this way.
Right.
Down here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so if we go to the next slide, we can see just the elevation views. So bringing in the school colors, red, gray, West Elementary on the front. This would be the side view in the back of the new cafeteria over here. And this would be just the south elevation there. So if we go to the next one, Again, get a little close up of the corner and the new front of the building, bringing in some windows and some natural light there on the new part on the southwest corner. And if we go to the next slide, just another view again there. This is the part facing the ball field. There's the loading dock. So actually, this is the cafeteria and the kitchen area.
Okay.
And that's just the back view of the new loading dock. There'll still be a little hallway there between the existing buildings, a little courtyard area that they can utilize as well. And then on the next slide there, that's just a view of bringing in some natural light from both sides of the building so that we can bring some, light in the building, hopefully not use as much energy, but, have some natural light coming in. And then that's the front of the building currently. We hope to kind of shape it up a little bit, put new windows in where there are no windows now. This is an elevator that would be ADA accessible. And of course, that's an alternate. It would take you up to the new security entrance. And then there's the butterfly canopies that are there and going into the building.
Okay.
And then that's just another view of if you're standing here at the building looking at the new part, the way it would look there.
Looks good.
So
I know they're getting excited, and that's going to go out for bid this
in December.
month.
December.
Okay.
And then hopefully we'll start construction, February if we can, if the weather works with us.
Okay. So that's great. And then I know we're also had a presentation at the board meeting, and we're working with ESG for some energy savings and a grant that will turn into some significant improvements as well as energy savings for our district.
Right.
So.
Well, we hope that we've been working for about a year on a project that would help us. We've got multiple needs as far as air conditioning, boilers, lighting, things of that type that need to be replaced. Our HVAC units are past their useful life. Really can't find parts anymore for them. So with ESG, what we've tried to do is build a project where we could complete all of as much of these projects as possible and let the energy savings pay for the new equipment. Of course, we would have to put in a little bit of money, but what the board approved was a $9.2 million package that would have to go to the county commission and to get approval. And we're really not asking the county commission to fund the project at all. What we as a school system can't borrow money, the county commission can. So if we could access the funds, and we've looked at several different ways to access the funds, then the energy savings would pay for the equipment, and then we would put in a small amount over the next 15 years to pay the cost, but the majority would be paid for with the energy savings. So no money actually paid by the county commission at all. We would take care of the bill. It would give us all new lighting, changing every light bulb out in the entire school system to LEDs. We'd be changing our HVAC equipment. We'd be putting in weatherizing all of the buildings, making sure they're tight and not leaking air and things of that type, bringing fresh air into the buildings. So a lot of different things. If we could do it this way, it would be done in a year and a half. If we had to do it a year at a time, it would take us literally 45 years to get everything done.
Wow.
So it's really a good package, and we hope that it'll move forward.
Okay, and as I understand it, basically they'll go ahead and start the project once we get this in place, and then by the time they finish, we'll have already had some substantial savings.
Absolutely.
And then it'll just directly be available to pay that first payment that we would owe. So yes,
That's
okay.
the plan.
Well, that is great. And then we also have safety money that I think we were going to talk a little bit about what we're using that.
Well, our safety funds, we got a grant from the governor's office. I think it was over $100,000. And we're going to do safety vestibules, foyer areas for security at the high school, at the middle school. It's already in the project at Bobby Ray and West. We'll be doing a safety area at Hickory Creek. So those are the areas in the schools and also at Dibble where when you come in the door, we've already got buzzer systems where you have to be let in. But for instance, at the high school, when you walk in the door, you're in the school and I have access to students. This safety vestibule area would allow you to come in and you couldn't get any further in the building unless you're allowed to go into the building. So those are some of the things that we're going to use the governor's safety money for. So hopefully we've already got the funding for that. That's getting ready to go out to bid. So hopefully we'll get that done pretty quick.
Okay, great. So we're talking this school year.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's the goal.
Okay, great. Okay, we also, I think we need to mention a little bit about text-to-tip line, hotline, and how that's going, what that is, and how we use that to help make our school safe.
Well, our text-to-tip line we started last year just as another outlet for security. It goes directly to an SRO. I think we've had over 19 tips that range from, violence to possible drug use, etc. And those are all investigated by the Sheriff's Department. The latest one that was in the newspaper, we had somebody had heard something about somebody bringing a gun to school. So that was text to the tip line. We investigated it, found really no foundation for alarm there, but we always have a higher police presence if we feel like that there is a threat, just in case. And we did that morning, so that's why we sent out the message to parents once we felt like everything was under control and everything was safe. But if we didn't feel like it was safe, we wouldn't have gone to school that day. So the text to tip line's been good. We would encourage people to continue to use it because, again, it goes directly to an SRO. It's going to be investigated. It's not going to be put to the side. It's manned. So we hope people will use that. Okay,
that's a great resource. If you know something, let somebody know.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we also, on a final note, I think we want to talk a little bit about academics and about how well our schools have done in our last accountability cycle.
Right.
So could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, we're very proud of our academic performance this year. We didn't do as well in achievement, but we really did well in growth. So we had 5 schools that were level 5 schools with the Tennessee Value Added Assessment System. So in 2 of those schools are reward schools recognized by the State Department, Hickory Creek and Irving College. So we're very proud of their performance academically. Our graduation rate was just released. We're one of 44 schools that have a 95% or above graduation rate in the state. So we're in the top 1/3 in graduation rate, outperforming the state, which is 89.1.
Wow.
So Warren County High School, I think, was at 96.1. And then our district as a whole, when we include Warren Academy and our other buildings, was like 95.9. So very proud of that. We had several schools that were in the top 10% in the state. Again, Hickory Creek, Irving College, the middle school, Centertown Elementary, all of those were in the top 10% in various categories, and in some schools in the top 1%. So we're very excited about our performance overall. Still have a lot to do, a lot of work to do, but feel like we're moving in the right direction. So very proud of that.
Okay, great. Okay. Well, thanks for sharing all of these different items that are going on in Warren County schools. And for you guys, don't forget we have fall break next week. So enjoy that, and we will see you again next time.